Hey guys, it's time to showcase my Spark build for 3.18. We're going to run this on a historically difficult map, the Val Temple. This one's full of these Val vessels. It's very cool. We run up to this double Val vessel. You can just activate both at the same time. And you can sustain yourself pretty well. Don't ever criticize Floyd Mayweather's style of boxing, because when you see corpse detonate, you gotta sidestep a little bit. You gotta sidestep. It's a legit strategy when you're fighting. When you see the boss room, do not throw a portal outside the boss room. Just charge in and go like this. Ah! And there it goes. Alright, I want to showcase an unedited clip, the Formed, and we're going to alch it with random mods. You can see these are relatively challenging mods for certain builds. The only way I would have rerolled was if I got cannot regenerate life mana or energy shield. The Formed is, I call it post-endgame content. A good demo. I will not edit anything out so you can see a proper showcase of the build. So let's look at the details here. We use a Cinder Swallow so that we can get more ES and also Onslaught. At Zuri for more Chaos damage, an Armor Flask, a Movement Flask, Corrupted Blood immunity, Corrupted Blood reduction from our Pantheon, as well as Cannot Be Frozen. We want a wand with a lot of spell damage, and also a nice crit chance, and also a little bit of fire damage. That actually helps. You'll see why later. Resists on our rings, Vixen's Entrapment for extra curse, and a little bit of leech. We've got Discipline, of course. Arcane Surge we link to a Divergent Frostblink, which gives us a little bit faster cooldown recovery. Clarity. We use Awakened Blasphemy on a Conductivity for more damage than Conductivity on hit. Circle of Regret helps our Herald of Thunder big time. As you can see, the shoes, mostly for spell suppression. Herald of Thunder, we use Energy Leech, and then we get Onslaught both from this and the Cinder Swallow. Those are our sources of Onslaught. Crystal Belt with a lot of ES, not ES from body armor because I needed the strength and the resist. A Chevrons, of course, because we're low life. Divergent Spark gives us more projectiles. Regular Inspiration. Awakened Fork gives even more projectiles as they hit. Lightning Penetration combined with our double curse. And Awakened added Lightning. And then a huge amount of Chaos Res and Stun Immunity as well from our Amulet. Crown of the Inward Eye. Gives us a lot of nice buffs. And then Elemental Army I use for my Flame Golem only so that it gets more LE resist so it dies less often. Prism Guardian, of course, because we're low life. Divergent Haste, Wrath, and Zealotry. 3 50% in our shield. Ascendancy, we want 100% chance to shock. We want this for protection. Absorbs damage. We want extra effect of lightning exposure. We also want Convergence on unique hit. This gives us blind. This here, because of that little bit of fire damage on our wand, it gives us a tiny amount of ignite damage, which lasts almost no time at all, but it does give us the Sadist buff. Corrosive Elements. That's where we get our lightning exposure mostly. Energy from Naught gives us nice ES boost and recharge rate. And then Master of Fear unnerves enemies. Elemental Overload means we have no crit multiplier, but we just need to crit. We only have a 15% chance to crit, but it's enough to sustain it. Static Blows because we're really buffing our shock. Right here, incredibly important. Lightning damage is lucky on non-crit, because if you look at the raw points on Spark, it's a very large range, and this way, before it even calculates, it rolls the value twice. Replica Conqueror's Efficiency lowers mana cost. Very important, since we don't get that on our ring. This comes from our amulet. Pain Attunement because we're low life. Zealot's Oath, we have very little regen, but we take it. This is incredibly important, because it's the only way to sustain 350% on our shield. Over here, Overcharged is how we get our Frenzy Endurance and Power Charges. It's the only way we get them. We also grab a bunch of Suppress right here, Mage Bane, because we don't need evasion rating. And then here we get a little bit of ES when we suppress as well. We also have a Watcher's Eye.